Awesome, great. Well, like I said, I'm excited because your department is invested in you and your members and your families as well, right? The name of our program is Ready Rebound, and it started from this man, Luis Rivera. Luis is a PT by trade. Luis actually spent most of his life helping college and pro athletes heal. He worked in Arizona State and Major League Baseball, helping them with their rehab facilities. And he actually started working in the Milwaukee Fire Department, helping those injured firefighters as well. His whole mindset is the sports medicine approach of injury recovery. What I mean by this is that we see it every weekend. People ask me, well, what's a sports medicine approach? Watch your favorite college or pro team on TV, and what happens when an athlete gets hurt? There's a team of people running out of the field and helping that athlete, either on the sidelines, going in the blue tent, or if need be, they're actually getting imaging in the locker rooms nowadays, right? The goal of these PTs is really to figure out what's happening with the athlete so that the coach knows, is my athlete out for the series? Is my athlete out for the game? That's the same approach that Luis took, not only for his athletes in pro and college sports, but he now applies it to first responders, right? And our goal is this: when you get hurt, let's face it, when you get hurt on the job or off the job, it's not a fun, situation. It's not really fun to do. So our goal is to help you land in the right medical spot. And what I mean by this is that we're going to try to figure out what the best plan of action for your injury, just like you see every weekend when a college or pro athlete gets hurt, right? And at this point, we want to figure out what the problem is. We need some type of imaging to really figure out a clear path of care, right? That's kind of the goal. And for us, I'm really excited about it because we've been working with West Pierce Fire for a while now. That we work with some of your best providers in the area to get you expedited care. And this is what it looks like. When you get hurt on the job, you call our 800 number, right? That 800 number is answered 24/7, 365 by one of our navigators. All our navigators are licensed athletic trainers. These are the same people that ran out on the sidelines in college or pro sports. And what they're going to do, they're going to triage this call, and they're really going to figure out what happened, right? Was it an on-duty injury, off-duty injury? Where do you live, right? Because really they want to triage this call to figure out the best plan of action. And at that point, they're going to give you care navigation throughout the entire process. And what I mean by this is that, and I'll show you on the next slide, but they're really basically going to make sure that you don't get lost in the process. What I mean by this is scheduling appointments, getting you, landing you in the right area, right? And on the job injuries are also going to keep your department informed. And what I mean by this is that HR, risk, whoever has a hand in the work comp process, they're going to keep them informed as well, just to make sure that they know where you're at through the process as well. And rest assured this too as well. We're very HIPAA compliant around the country. So that means we don't share any off-duty or family member injuries to your departments. Only your on-the-job injuries. That's very important to know. And this is the Ashley Ward. Ashley Ward is one of your navigators who works at Ready Rebound, and she answers that call 24/7, 365. And like I said before, she's going to triage the call when you call the hotline. The hotline's 800-781-2320. And she's going to get a bunch of information. She really needs to figure out, like I said, was it an on-duty injury, off-duty injury? Where do you live? Because for us, she's trying to determine and triage this injury, right? She's going to arrange an appointment for you to see a specialist. And for us, we really want to figure out a best plan of action. At that point, she will be following up with you, making sure you're going to your appointments, your MRIs are approved. She works with L&I. She works alongside L&I for your on-the-job injuries, right? She really just want to make sure that you just concentrate on healing, right? And like I said before, at the end of the day, she's going to keep your departments informed as well, right? And I really like showing this graphic because this really kind of shows what we're used to in the traditional model of injury recovery compared to what we do, right? Most of the times when you usually got injured, maybe you went and took some Tylenol, you iced a little bit, you came back in a couple of weeks, your injury didn't get any better. Maybe you did some PT on a serious injury, knew nothing about it. And about a month or two down the road, you might finally realize you might need some type of imaging. Well, Ready to Rebound, like I said, our goal is really to get immediate action, to get you in to see a specialist immediately, get some type of diagnosis immediately, so we can figure out by imaging, are we going to surgery? Are we going to PT? It happens that quick in college and pro sports. You can do the math here. If we can get you back to your lives quicker, if we can get you back on the truck sooner, we can get you back to doing what you love the most, and that means saving time, right? If we can save time, we can really just, save you and your family a lot of grief along the way as well, right? And what I'm excited about here too with your department is your protocol is pretty simple. you fill out your first report of injury, and you call Ready Rebound. It's really quite that simple. And everything I talked about for your on-the-job injuries, that ease of access, that immediate access, top-tier quality care, and the true concierge service throughout the entire process is also available to all your off-duty injuries, all your retirees, and all your family members at no additional cost. And I want to be very clear about this. Everything I just talked about is available to your son gets hurt playing baseball, your daughter gets hurt playing soccer, your mom gets hurt. Call our 800 number. We're going to help all of them. This doesn't cost you anything. Your department has invested money in you and your family to offer this great benefit. And actually, around the country, we're seeing 2 to 3 times more family members and off-duty members than we are, OGIs around the country. And I like to share this one too. Is that people ask me all the time, well, what injuries do you cover? It's mostly musculoskeletal injuries, hernias, concussions. It's your shoulders, your spines, your hips, your wrists, your ankles, your knees, any fractures, tears, concussions, right? Because the key is that when you get injured with any musculoskeletal injury, we want to make sure we expedite care. And I tell all my departments and all my members this as well. If you have doubt on something with your injury, please call our navigators because they're very well versed in insurance, they're well versed in injuries, and we're going to help wherever we possibly can throughout the process. And I get these questions all the time too. Can I see if my doctor is part of your providers? Here's what I explained is that all our providers are vetted. Every provider we work with and every provider that works with us is sports fellowship trained. However, we'll vet your providers if you like. If you have a great PT you like, if you have a great surgeon you like, we'll talk to everybody because we really want to always expand our service. I already talked about your family members. What defines a family member? What defines a family member to you? Is it your mom, your dad, your stepchild? They're all covered with our service at no additional cost, right? One thing I get too is can this be used for old, pre-existing, or second opinions? Of course. Always call the hotline, and we'll be able to help wherever we possibly can. One thing is that with TRICARE and a lockdown HMO, sometimes we're a little more limited on what we can do to expedite care, but we'll still help throughout the process. Is my spouse's insurance covered? Yes. When we came into West Pierce, we already did our integration process. We already made sure some of our providers are in the network. So usually everyone in your spouse's insurance company is covered as well. And the last thing I really want to be compliant on is that HIPAA compliance, right? Because that's really important. Because I want you and your members to know that really we take this very seriously. We want you to be comfortable when you call our hotline. And if you don't, I know you probably can't see the screen, and I'm going to share this video, but I have a QR code here that you can scan with your phone. And what this is going to do is just going to upload our Ready Rebound number into your cell phone. That way you have easy access to us as well. So I'm going to leave this here for a second for video purposes. And then once I share this video, you'll be able to use this as well to put on your cell phone. And at this point, I'm going to stop and see if anybody has any questions. I can answer any questions at this time.
Thank you, Marcus. Anyone here in the body with questions? Retired? Do you have questions, Rick? Retired folks, I believe, qualify. Is that right, Lauren? Marcus?
They do qualify. I don't even care when you retired from West Pierce. And another thing too, your family members as well. So you as a firefighter that worked for the department, retired years ago, or just retired, and your families as well. So correct, everybody's covered at no additional cost.
Hey, I'm sure there's a handful in the room that have actually used the service. So
Well, and thank you. And like I said,
actually, the majority of this room looks like we've used the service. So.
Well, no, and thank you. And really, for me, my goal is like to go around. And I actually got a chance to talk to the chief. And my goal is I'm going around now and kind of retraining the departments. I'm going around retraining the unions because it's important. Sometimes you forget about it. But I'm glad that we're here to be able to help you. I'm honored that you're part of our team. And for me, we're just we're really glad that we could help your men and women and their families in any way possible. So at this point, I'm going to stop. And it's truly an honor for me to be able to join you today. Your union meeting, it really means a lot to me. I'm really union driven. We're union driven as a company, and I really do appreciate your time.
Awesome. Well, with that, we'll let you go. I think you're back on the East Coast, so it's probably getting close to bedtime. But we really appreciate you signing on to the meeting, and we'll be sure to share the video. We'll get that sent back out to the membership. They have via the meeting notice today, they have the form you shared with me earlier. So we'll get those up in the stations and everything too, and make sure we have those.
Great,
So
great. And I appreciate that very much. Like I said, I'll send this over to you tomorrow and we'll go from there. But thank you very much for what you do and stay safe.